I'll tell you what, one of the most exciting things in bass fishing the last year has been Livingston lures. And you know, for years we've all relied on rattles and things of that nature to attract fish and action. But Livingston lures is the first smart lure out there, Chad. It's actually a lure that has a circuit board in it that mimics and actually emits a croaking sound, just like a flink, redfin shad, or a minnow, or a shiner for that matter. Over here we've got one of the larger ones, and this is obviously for catching whales. But with it, you can get...
Or the bass that I catch.
Or the type bass you catch in kayak fish. And I know you catch bigger fish on your show than mine. But from what we've got here, there's a circuit board inside of here. And what it does is they taped fleeing fish at the University of Texas, Arlington. And they came up with this idea. It's really much like hydrowave or biosonics is really what it is. But what you've got the ability to do is you put out a bait, the bait goes out, and it has this croaking sound inside it, okay?
So if you're using hydrowave, this is actually an extension of your hydrowave. You set the fish into motion and you throw a piece of hydrowave out there.
That's right.
To draw them into.
The easiest way we can explain it to everybody out there is if you love hydrowave, we've got we've got graphs on our boats, we've got electronics in every aspect of our life, for our phones, everything else. We've got the hydrowave technology to call the fish to our boats, but now you can actually throw a bait 50 yards out.
The bait adds an extra measure of attractiveness. Instead of getting a little bit too techie about it, these guys can check this out at Livingston Lures and find out about the technology. Let's take them over here and show them some of the baits that this technology is incorporated into.
Well, I'll turn this back over to you real quick. But yeah, let me grab a couple of these. All right, Chad, this is going to be our Dive Master Junior. This is probably one of the most popular baits out there. This is a shallow running crankbait that really deflects off the cover and timber and things of that nature, and it really tends to track and hunt. And we all talk about that, about how we like baits to kind of kick off and then retract. And this bait has the same technology in it. So you can take it and you can throw it up in 2-3 feet of water, you can bring it back down through some cover, stop it, bang it off something, and you're going to get blown away at how many times the rod's almost going to get ripped out of your hand because it's just in there croaking. I mean, they hear it. So never in my life, I mean, jerk baits, anything, have we ever seen baits that you could throw out there, stop, and the fish are still going to bite it. It doesn't happen.
Now, Jamie, I don't know if you do this, and especially on big bass, but how many times have you ever had a shallow running crank get hit? They knock the fire out of it, but they don't get set. You're reeling up the slack because they put some slack in the line, the lure pops up, it's sitting on the surface, and as you're taking up the slack out of your line, they just smash it, sitting on the surface. This bait's going to add a little bit of extra attractiveness to that scenario.
Absolutely. In the West Coast, we call that getting slack line, and that's where a fish hits your line or a big swim bait so hard that it literally just smacks that.
Overrun it.
It's the greatest thing you can ever feel like, unless you miss it. So you're absolutely right. And just recently, one of the funniest stories I've got on this bait is I was fishing a tournament on Lake Powell, and I literally was throwing the Pro Sizzle Pop, and I'm going down, and I've caught 25 to 30 fish. I'm killing it. It's rainy and stormy, and I get one, and I break off 50-pound McCoy line braid because I just hadn't retied forever. And so now I'm bummed because my Citrus Shad Pro Sizzle is gone. Well, the fish spits it up. So now it's sitting on the surface. I'm on my trolling motor going over to get it with my partner, and within 10 yards of getting it, the fish comes up, eats it, and takes off. It was the only one I had in the boat. And that's a true story.
So it's fishing for dummies. So there's guys that don't even know how to fish can just throw it out there and put it and just let it sit and wait for the fish to smash.
You watch my show, you know I am fishing for dummies.
Hey, so what makes guys like us look good on TV is the ability to find products that help us look good even when we're not.
That's right.
And Livingston Lures will do that for you.
I'll tell you what, Livingston Lures is the hottest thing in the business right now. It's going to totally revolutionize fishing. Think about this, croaking sounds from frogs. Think about all the different aspects. Some of the little bird baits that are out there right now. I mean, just crawdad baits. I mean,
so what you're saying is Livingston Lures has blown up on the bass scene, but they're still just getting started.
I think you're going to see it blow up into redfish and everything else. And I think you and I should get together and do a show with kayaks. I'll show you how it's done.
Or we can do the kayak versus boat kind of thing. Switch it up. So do this. Tell the folks at home where they can go to find out more information about Livingston Lures' entire selection of products.
What you need to do is go to livingstonlures.com, and everything you need there is right on the website. There's a ton of footage. There's a ton of stuff that really explain and break down why Livingston Lures is a clear choice in fishing lures.
There you have it.